So the next classification algorithm we are going to see is naive Bayes classification. First of all, a naive Bayes is based on Bayes theorem, and Bayes theorem has the assumption that each feature is independent and equal. First of all, what is Bayes theorem? So Bayes theorem tells you about a probability. It calculates the probability given that a certain condition is true. So what does these notations tell you about? Let me explain. So P A slash B, that is the formula of the Bayes theorem. This first B by A or B slash A, it means probability of B given that A has already occurred. B is a condition, A is a condition, and this notation explains that probability of what is the probability of B given that A has already occurred, and we multiply it by the probability of A and we divide it with a probability of B, and this tells you that what is the probability of A given that B has already happened. So this is the Bayes theorem. And now let us take an example and see what the formula looks like. So let's take this with an example. So let's say we have a clinic and patient comes to the doctor, and one of the patient having liver disease is 10%. So the chance of having liver disease to the particular patient is 10%. And another person or another patient comes which is an alcoholic. So the chance of having the probability of the person is an alcoholic is 5% out of the total population, out of the total patients they visit the doctor. And the third thing would be the person is alcoholic given that he has a liver disease but he's an alcoholic, so that the probability of that having is 0.07, that is 7%. Now the Bayes theorem, according to the formula, will tell you that what exactly is the probability of the person having liver disease. What is the probability that the person has liver disease given, or it is already known that he's an alcoholic, and we put these values to the formula, and the chance is 14%. So there is 14% chance that the person already he is already an alcoholic and he has a liver disease. So that is, the chance is 14%. So this is a small example of Bayes theorem, and this is what the naive Bayes is based on. So moving on to naive Bayes, let's say we have two different variables, one is age, one is salary. The age is the independent variable and the salary is the dependent variable. Well, the main criteria for naive Bayes, for using naive Bayes classification, is to classify the category or classify a person into a certain category, right? So these red dots you see is of the walking class. That walking class means that they walk to the office, right? And these green dots are the driving class, or they drive to their offices. And this is a new data point. So we want to classify that this new data point belongs to which category, right? Either he belongs to the walking class or does he belongs to the driving class. So we have to classify that. So to classify that, we have three steps in naive Bayes. So first step is to calculate the probability of what is the probability of that person walking if x is given. I'll explain x, what is x. So for now, just remember that what is the probability of the person is a walking class given the x. Second step would be what is the probability that the person belongs to the driving class given the x, and at the step 3 we'll compare the two values, and whichever value has the greatest or the biggest value, it belongs to that category. So now we'll move with step 1. So step 1 is having this formula. So first of all, we calculate what is the probability of the walking class. So the probability is the number of walkers, that is 10. So there are 10 walkers, that is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. There are 10 walkers. This is a new data point. So number of walkers is 10, number of total observations, that is these total people, are 30, right? So the value is 10 or 10 by 30. The next is the x. X is this circle, or x is the area. You can think it like as an area where the distance, the nearest points to the new data points are taken into consideration. So x here will become the number of similar observations upon total observations. So whatever value is inside this particular area, this particular circle, being nearest to this new data point, will be of similar observations. So there are 4 similarity or similar data points to this new data point, so that will be 4, and total observations is 30, so 4 by 30. So now we'll calculate what is the probability of x given that they are of walking class. That would be number of similar observations who walk, that is inside the circle again, that is 3 out of who walks, that is 10, 3 out of 10. Putting these all values together in this formula, it comes up the value as 0.75. In the same way we calculate for the driving also, and the value comes up to be 0.25. Now we'll compare the two, and we know that 0.75 is greater than 0.25. So this new data point belongs to the walking class. So that is what naive Bayes does. It classifies a point to a certain category. Now the applications of naive Bayes is it is very fast, and it is used to make predictions in real time. It is a multi-class prediction. It is used for more than one classes. It is used in text classification, spam filtering, sentiment analysis, and it is used in recommendation system. Netflix and Amazon, so all these e-commerce websites uses recommendation system to recommend the users what to watch or what to buy. And now we'll see the case study of naive Bayes. So let's jump on to code and see how to use naive Bayes. So this is the code of naive Bayes. Before that, let me show you the social network ads dataset. So this is a dataset which we are working on, and the dataset explains you about a car company which is about to launch its new product in the market, and the car company wants to know that which of the customer will buy the car. And this data is old data the car company has collected over several years, and it has user ID, gender, age, and estimated salary of the customer, and the purchased column. And this purchase column tells you that if the person or the customer has bought the car or not in the past. So we'll use this data set and we'll train the machine and we'll test the machine. Now starting with 3 common libraries. After that we'll import the data set, that is social_network_ads.csv. This is the data set, right? User ID, gender, age, estimated salary. These 4 are independent variables. Purchase is a dependent variable or column, and in this case we only need these 2 independent variables, that is age and salary. So that is why we have extracted only third and fourth column, and the last column in the dependent variable would be the purchased column, right? So this is the purchased column. And now we'll split the data set into 25% test set and 75% training set, and we'll use the feature scaling. Now to fit the data set, we'll use the sklearn.naive base library, and from it we'll call the Gaussian NB method, and then using the Gaussian NB method we'll save it in a classifier object. Gaussian NB method is the name of the naive base, so storing it in the classifier object and then fitting the Gaussian NB with the independent training set and the dependent training set. So independent training set consists of 300 values. As you can see, it has age and salary after being scaled, and dependent train has also 300 values but only the purchased column. So fitting all these, and now it's time to predict. So to predict the purchased column or to predict the result, we'll pass the independent test set, and then we'll compare it with the dependent test set. But first we'll save it in a dependent predict variable, right? So these are the predictions that have been made by the model, and dependent test is the actual result. And as you can see that the first 9 values are absolutely correct, but the 10th value, that is number 9, Python starts with 0, right? So 10th value, here machine predicted that the customer has bought the car, but here in the actual value, in the real world, the customer has not bought the car. So I would say a pretty good prediction all in all. Now once you made the prediction, now you want to test its accuracy, the model's accuracy, right? So there are two methods. First of all, we'll build a confusion matrix. So confusion matrix tells you about how many predictions were wrong and how many predictions are correct. So to build confusion matrix, you have to import it from the library sklearn.matrix, and using the confusion matrix method, and we'll pass two different values, that is dependent test, the actual result, and the dependent predict, what the machine has predicted. And now you can see the confusion matrix. This diagonal value, that is 65 and 25, that is 90, that is correct. So 90 predictions were correct, and 7 and 3 10, that is 10 predictions were wrong. So in order to read the confusion matrix, this columns, these two columns tells you the actual values, and these rows, that is 0 and 1, tells you the predicted values. So in the real world, 65 and 7, that is 72 people have not bought the car, but what the machine has predicted, that 65 has not bought the car and 7 has bought the car. So out of 72, 65 were correct, and this tells you that 25 and 3, that is 28 people have bought the car, but what the machine has predicted, that out of 28 only 25 people bought the car and 3 have not bought the car. So 10 people, so 10 predictions were wrong and 90 predictions were correct. So that is how you read confusion matrix, and I would say that is a pretty good prediction. And the other method to check its accuracy is the matrix scope. So same from the sklearn library, you call the matrix method, and using the matrix method, accuracy underscore score is the method which belongs to the matrix method. And you can also, and in this case you'll also pass two variables, dependent test and dependent predict, the actual value and the predicted value. So calling it, and it will tell you the accuracy. So the accuracy of the machine here is 90%, which is a very good accuracy, that the 90% are the correct values. So in this way you can check the machine that how accurate the machine is or the model is. So next we'll visualize the test results in a graph using the matplotlib library. So this is the matplotlib.colors library, which has a different color listed color map, because I've already imported the matplotlib library matplotlib.pyplot. So we'll use the pyplot method, and I'm saving the independent train and the dependent train in these two variables xset and yset. Then this mesh grid function is used to create a rectangular grid given two 1D arrays. So these are two 1D arrays. This is first 1D array and this is the second 1D array. We are using the contour plot or contour F plot. This is used to show a 3D surface on a 2D plane. So we'll use the x1 and x2, which has been stored earlier, and we'll use the predict method. And this revel is a function which is used to create a contiguous flattened array. And then we're using with the help of xlim. Xlim here is the limit. It is used to get or set the limits of the current axis. So we have two axes, x1 and x1, the minimum and the maximum. And then we're using the for loop to print the scatter plot. So scatter plot here takes two values, x-axis and the y-axis. X-axis is being used with independent training set. This represents the first column, that is the age column, and y set is the dependent train, the first column. The dependent train, initially the j would be 0, so y set would be the dependent train first column, and the y-axis is same using the x set, and in this case the y set first column and the second column of the x set, and we'll print the scatter plot. Then this is the title, this is the x label, this is the y label, this is for the legend, and then for the show. And then running the program would give me this kind of plot. As you can see that Naive Bayes has made some pretty good predictions because this is a non-linear classifier. So this red region is for those people who the model thinks has not bought the car, and the green region is for those who have bought the car according to the model, what the model has predicted. And these dots are the real values which we have given to the model. So the red region would have more of the red dots and the green region would have more of the green dots. So this is for the training set. And in the same way we have for the test set, and as you can see there are 100 values in it, and out of which 10 were incorrect. So I would say it made a pretty good prediction, and once the value is trained the machine is tested, and this is the test result. So that's it for the Naive Bayes, and this way you can use different data sets to train and test the performance of the model, and then after you're satisfied with a particular model you can use it in the real world. So that's it for this video, and thank you.